Welcome to the Peak Performance and Peak Satisfaction podcast with Master Executive Coach Sherry Gregoff. Sherry helps business people perform better, get rewarded handsomely, and actually enjoy their work. After having her own career turnaround, she now helps other high-powered business professionals experience the same. Join the movement to work differently.
Welcome to the podcast. It's great to have you here. There can be a pervasive rush to our society, and it's reflected in how we view our progress on our career path. We have expectations that have us hurrying both day to day and through the years. If you have felt behind in your career and experienced pressure to make up for lost time, this episode is for you. We will uncover how these expectations are largely arbitrary and often are the very things slowing our progress. Speaking of rushing, you may be hurrying to keep up with your back-to-back meetings and overscheduled calendar too. In my free masterclass on May 1st at 1 p.m., I'm showing you how to take back your calendar. Leave with 3 takeaways in 30 minutes that will put you back in control of your time. Register now at the first link in the show notes. Look forward to your days designed with intention instead of dreading the day and ending it exhausted without much to show for it. Now back to today's topic. Are you in a hurry in your career development? Do you feel like you are under the gun or that there's a clicking stopwatch over your head or even an hourglass glued to the table that you are trying to outpace? Every milestone on the way to your ultimate career goal can feel like a race. We've got to close that gap faster. The promotion of title, the raise, the next step in expanding your scope. It may have us job hopping to speed things up or lamenting our tenure within a firm because it's not moving fast enough. We may be scrolling through our favorite social media platforms, quietly taking notes of how far behind we are as compared to our peers, who always seem to be speaking on panels or in the media, or humbly accepting a new role, or feeling honored about some recent milestone. This is for my goal-oriented people. I'm right there with you. We think this is the way to be. High achievers, always banging out a new accolade and having a new accomplishment under our belt. Being highly motivated is great. Having goals is positive. Being driven can be good. But like anything good, it can also get twisted. Let's double-click on where this goes awry. If you feel highly driven because something is wrong, if every moment in which you have not yet reached that goal feels incomplete and uncomfortable, then you start from a place of despair to escape the current reality, which has now become a problem. Underneath this rush in our daily work life is the belief that we should be further along in our career than we are now. It's such a common sentiment, but it's a serious problem. Here's why. When we decide we are behind, we experience a stress response in our body. Our adrenaline picks up, and cortisol too, in order to rally to quote-unquote catch up. Adrenaline and cortisol can help us focus and concentrate. This can be good in spurts, but when every workday we return to this need to advance urgently, we keep our nervous system in a state of stress that can become chronic. My contemporaries are busy doing cryotherapy, injections, supplements, ice baths, and many other creative things to help their physical health. But sometimes we overlook the primary driver of our wellness. It could be the emphasis on how far you are from a future goal that's the very source of your neck pain, the high blood pressure, and the stockpiling of fat. Your body is processing the message that things are not okay on a daily basis because that goal is not yet achieved. So it has us tensing up and creating knots and tension in different parts of our body, The elevated heart rate has our heart working overtime to rally for this perceived matter of survival daily. We sense our livelihood may be at risk, so our body starts storing fat in case food security becomes an issue. All of this happening because we created this pressure from setting goals and then focusing on the fact that we haven't yet hit them. Not only does this wreak physical havoc in our bodies, it also causes a counterproductive effect that hurts our ability to focus and perform. We can't focus because we drop into a fight for survival. Whether our brain logically sees it as a matter of survival or not, this negative self-talk of being behind winds up our subconscious like it is a true danger. This dulls our ability to problem solve, to spot nuances in our environment, and to innovate using our creativity. Our perspective narrows, and we operate from a place of scarcity and insufficiency, chasing what we believe will catch us up and make us feel safe and certain. Unfortunately, this very dynamic moves us farther from achieving our career goals by impairing our performance, not improving it. So what would happen if you took a different approach? Imagine if you were right on time in the big picture. What if you were supposed to be where you are in this moment because it's where you are in this moment? A client recently told me of her family's Nigerian saying that all is well. A simple way and a simple practice to halting the racing that, for reasons we already covered, actually makes it take longer and introduces a level of duress where we are not at our best. But how does one do this? How do we internalize what might even be true in all objective respects, that all is well, when all doesn't feel well? Let's get practical. This is why I begin every coaching session by reflecting on what is working well. It helps you ground your perspective in a more sufficient place. This calms your nervous system with a boost of endorphins and dopamine, purely from recognizing the progress you have made. That enables you to tap into your prefrontal cortex, the area of your brain responsible for your highest level thinking. Only then are we ready to move into what's not working well that you would like to improve upon. Now you are ready to problem solve rather than panic when we shift to that topic. It's a beautiful habit to use for your everyday thinking, whether starting or ending the day. Before shifting to creative or problem-solving mode, review everything that's going just right. This gratitude will calm you to intelligently turn to what's next. This is also a framework for thinking about your career goals. If you have an ultimate role in mind, I'll take a recent example that came up in a coaching session this last week. Let's say it's a C-suite position. If every day between now and that goal, you beat yourself up for not being there yet, that makes for a pretty miserable ride. It may be an unfair standard for you in this moment where you are in your career. It might just be naturally farther out to even have that as a potential. But even if it was on the horizon in this calendar year, feeling incomplete until you achieved it would not be constructive. Instead, the first step is always considering all the ways you have everything you need right now, how it is enough, how you are competent enough in this moment, how you are worthy right now. This is the root cause of all hurry and rushing in our lives, not feeling competent or worthy enough in this moment as is, and then rushing to fill that need. If these mere words make you bristle, then consider whether you are judging yourself against a future standard and creating a scarcity that has you feeling behind and chasing in order to be complete. If so, no judgment. I would venture to say that most of us spend most of our time there. But today, we're raising your awareness in this so that you can catch it and shift your state of mind for more satisfaction and better performance. This feeling of being behind or needing a goal achieved to feel complete is actually a repellent for your goals. It doesn't help anyone. Instead, you can practice a new mindset. It takes as long as it takes. I'll be learning and growing my way to that goal. And I decided I'm going to enjoy every step as if it were done even before it is. This perspective works like a magnet. When in this frame of mind, we are calm and relaxed while engaged. The threat is gone, so now we get innovative to create what we want next, purely from desire rather than need. This opens the door for our flow state, where we are challenged just above our current capability and engaged to grow. Time and space slips away, and we are enjoying the process. This becomes possible when we remove the urgent need. It allows us to set the right conditions to work our best. Let's take a closer look at the contrast side by side. When you are thinking, I'm behind, you feel discouraged, disappointed, pressure, and needy. As a result, you choose to fight reality, to hurry, rush, panic, stress, and spin out because of your thoughts about the reality that you are in. The result is your rushing impairs your work, and the goal takes longer to achieve. In contrast, when you are thinking, I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be because this is where I am. If I want to move forward, the fastest way is from where I am now. It's time to accept what's happening and recognize all the good in this moment. Then I can move forward. This thought exercise shifts your state from this place of scarcity to pure desire from a place of sufficiency. The action we take out of desire rather than desperation is far more constructive and impactful. The result is that you create your vision consistently and accelerate your progress towards it. I am reminded of my kids' music teacher who would always repeat to them when they were young that practice makes progress. The decided upgrade to practice makes perfect. He was giving them permission to stop measuring themselves against a perfect ideal that might not be reachable for anyone in that classroom, including the teacher. Baseball is the sport of the season in my household at the moment. Consider how my young men would feel if every day they were comparing how they were playing to their fellow players who were 4 years older and had the benefit of many more years of practice over their baseball career. They'd feel pretty sour and down. Would this lead to them practicing more or less? Less, because it's less fun. Then their progress would slow even more, and even the game would become less fun. In contrast, when they look at how far they've progressed since the start of the season, since last summer, since Little League, they are motivated. They recognize momentum. They believe their progress will continue. They enjoy it more, they practice more, they progress faster, and they enjoy it even more. Whether you are comparing yourself to others or a perfect ideal, remember the aim is progress, not an ideal standard of perfection that can never be reached. A perfect standard will only make your satisfaction and performance decline. They go hand in hand after all. Let's talk through 3 real-life examples to see how this applies. One client has their ultimate career goal in mind. When he compares where he is now to that C-suite role, he feels less than, behind, and that his vision is at risk. He has on repeat that he should be farther along by now. This has him overreacting to every career setback, however typical and nonspecific it is to his own actions or performance. Interpreting his surroundings in this way, the offer not extended, for example, because of budget cuts and hiring halted for the company, can start to color what he sees as possible for him and even his identity. Rather than seeing the business circumstance behind it, He internalizes it as a career mistake and that he is a failure. This impacts how he shows up for interviews and in his next role. The result is that he aims lower and underperforms his potential. There is a different way that this can play out for him. If he can recognize the external circumstance outside of his control that led to this offer not being extended, he realizes it was not specific to him. He takes it in stride that he was better off not investing years of work in a company that was financially stretched and forced to halt hires they had planned. Rather than spinning out where he is, he recognized how well positioned he is now, how he has more than what he needs in this moment. And from that calm state, he is able to take constructive steps forward to securing the role he wants next. His grip on the final C-suite target had loosened. He is open to his career unfolding in even better ways than he had planned, and is focused on the next milestone to take it one step at a time. Less judgment on how far he has to go, and more recognition of progress he has made from where he was before. Let's take another example. A client has a vision to become a founder again. Because of his prior experience, it feels like the ultimate role for him. Pure ownership, total control, and high risk reward. Despite being in the role that is most fitting for this season of life, enabling him to do exactly what he wants with his family in this stage, he finds himself measuring how far he is from that ideal role. This introduces a level of self-judgment, a fear that the mediocrity and bureaucracy that surrounds him will temper his skills and his will to build something new. From this state of scarcity, he is conflicted in his current role. The notion that it is pulling him farther from his ideal of being a founder again keeps him from fully engaging and investing in his own growth right where he is. He misses lessons that would inform and help his next venture as a founder. This is not creating the most direct path forward to what he ultimately wants, but is instead slowing him down and making the experience less enjoyable as well. The alternative is that instead of focusing on the distance to his long-term goal of founding another business, he focuses on the progress and benefits that he has created from where he was before. Each day he can fuel up his mindset by reminding himself of the benefits in his current role, all the reasons why he actively chooses it every day. This increased his engagement and his motivation to learn, knowing the season to build again will come in due time. Having made this decision, he's free now to maximize where he is and take steps forward, building skills that will serve him for years to come. The spinning out was happening from fighting his current reality, and now it's over. It's replaced with self-trust and self-efficacy that he is making choices eyes wide open for the near term, and the cost-benefit is in his favor daily. It is creating the exact circumstances that will enable his longer-term goal when he wants to make that shift. A third example is a client who can spend each day noticing what is less than ideal at her workplace. The interpersonal conflict, the misaligned objectives, the favoritism, the understaffing. Alas, every organization has its challenges, anywhere you go. Lamenting circumstances outside of her control, with emotional ownership so high that she feels the headwinds facing the company are her own, puts her in a state of fight, flight, or freeze on a daily basis. This keeps her farther from creating a vision beyond this current reality. Her creativity and innovative thinking is limited when in this state where her survival seems threatened. What I help her do instead is to interrupt this pattern. There is a long list of why she chooses this company and this role each day. She has made massive progress in designing her work around what she enjoys the most and collecting rewards and recognition. She has freed up some capacity for better work-life balance too. When she remembers that she doesn't need anything in particular at this juncture, the gravity of typical business shortcomings lightens. She instead feels gratitude for how nearly everything has worked out to her benefit. She chooses this role from an abundant place rather than a needy one. And the best part is, this calm nervous system allows her to open up to truly designing what her next chapter could look like. Stepping out of the template and the mold for what her peers do, she can start making decisions based on her own definition of success. This is the phase our work is in now. It is exhilarating to explore what will delight her the most to create that next in her work and life. In every one of these cases, there is a release on the element of time, the halt of the fight against the current reality, a shift from scarcity and desperate neediness for things to be different than they are right now, towards a confident sufficiency and gratitude for the current moment. That opens up the door for creativity for what can be built next, from a place of pure desire and curiosity, rather than white-knuckling for survival. It's a stunning transformation that unlocks the peak satisfaction and then the peak performance that we aim for in this podcast. So what do we do now with this knowledge in the week ahead? Set your antenna to recognize when you have slipped into feeling behind and fighting with the reality that you are in. When your inner critic is laying on the judgment heavy that you should be farther along by now, explore all the ways that you should be right here, right now, because you are. What are all the ways that you feel grateful for where you are now? How is it quite good, actually? Recognize how far you have come and your track record of accomplishments and learning that brought you to right here. Sense the deep peace and gratitude that will dominate your state. Then, tap into creativity. What would you want to create next for the joy of it? Not because you need it, because all is well, right here, right now. But because it would be a fun next step. What would that look like? Why would you want it? Do you love your reasons? If so, what are steps you can take to create it today? What opportunities do you recognize around you that would open that door for you? This is the state of creation that is most constructive. This is what ends up collapsing timelines on bringing a future vision to fruition. Anytime you sense yourself slipping into the rush or hurry or desperation of needing that future vision to happen right now, cure it with deep gratitude for the current reality by following these steps. I'm including a link to my leadership playbook where you can download this tool for free and use it as a resource every time you dip into feeling behind in your career. It's like the service engine light coming on in your car. Being aware of this emphasis on how far you are from your long-term goal, sending you into a rush. But then this alert light goes on. You see what's happening, and you know to begin this protocol to quickly shift your state to tap into your highest level thinking once again. If this is a challenge for you, I can help. This is just one of the pillars in my signature system that I help my clients master. Active mindset management, so that the thought soundtrack playing as your inner talk doesn't torment you daily like an inner critic, but instead proactively supports your satisfaction and your growth. It's a muscle we build with gym time each week until your routines are habit and your muscle strength is there, and using it is just muscle memory. If you are in a state of fighting your reality every day in your work and life, know that this chronic state of survival isn't fun, nor is it helpful. But there is another way that feels far more pleasant day to day and advances your career faster too. Let's get this done for you starting next week. Book your free consultation. And remember to register for my free masterclass to take back your calendar and reclaim your time. I'm teaching how to make each day count and how to experience more ease as you do it. Check out what it's all about at the first link in the show notes. Until next time.
Looking for support in applying the principles and strategies in today's episode? Sherry coaches clients one-on-one as their trusted confidant and advisor, helping each client create the work and life they had only dreamed of. To schedule your complimentary career strategy session, go to sherrygregoff.com/apply to book time with her today. It's one simple step that can change everything.